Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome back to World of Warships, where today we are back in the WoW stats and numbers. It's a website to which you can go and see more of your details, performance, summary of how you do statistic-wise on all of the 4 servers. So we have NA, EU, RU, and the Asian server, so you can just jump between different servers there as well. So last week we talked about how to get good, where I showed you just some things that I could see that I needed to improve on, that I could analyze, look at some different stuff, and pose some questions based off different statistics we were seeing. So if you want to see that video, go back to Monday's video last week, and you'll basically see a screenshot of the thumbnail looking like this and the how to get good. But today's video, so I didn't have enough time in last week's video to go more in depth and detail of what's more here on the WoW Stats and Numbers website. So here you can see that I have my account where we're looking at random battles right now, and you have these different tab options that you can jump between. It works horizontally and vertically, this chart, this graph, so you have overall battles, recent, last 7 days, last 21 days, so on and so forth. And then you go down, and so we have battles win rate, personal rating, battles survived, your experience, the tier, what tier do you often play most in random battles, so 7.5. And then your warship stats by PR, warship stats by run rate, WR. So we can look at different things through different filters here. So the first is the standard. This is the standard thing. When you come into the site, it's going to show up as random battles first. So now, this stuff is pretty straightforward, but there's things we can break down more in detail. But when we're looking at this from an overall perspective in random battles, which is basically these first 4 tabs here, you can see that we have a decent good run rate. We're still under 2,000 battles. I can see the battles I've played in the last 7 days. We've played 24 with a 75% run rate. And in the last 21 days, we've played 64 random battles with a 67.19% run rate. We can see how likely we are to survive the battle. So this is actually, to me, it's rather decent, seeing that at almost 2/3, meaning that I'm going to have a good chance of living towards the end of the battle to continue help make an impact, make a difference. And then you have these different numbers that fluctuate. So it's not so much I just want to only just give you an overview of what the site does, but further explaining what are different things maybe you need to be paying attention to, where you can see some different trends happening in your gameplay. So for example, we could say aircraft destroyed. So that was here. We can look at that and oh, it's gone down a little bit, not as high as it has been. This is overall. So overall, we can see that we're not doing quite as much as we typically do. And this could be the tier you're playing. If you're playing more low tiers, you're playing odd tiers where there's a less of a chance for carriers that are tier 4, tier 6, tier 8, tier 10. So if you're playing more the odd numbers, the 5, 7, 9 matchmaking, you might not see aircraft as much. So then you might be noticing this number go down. So it's kind of important to note what you're doing in game. If you're working on a battleship grind, you may just notice different things that stand out, like your spotting might be going down because you're constantly playing battleship, so on and so forth. You can even go down here further where they have these charts where we can view our win rate, personal rating, average damage, average experience, battles per month, battles per week. So we can see that when we look first at the win rate, you can see that you have this graph here on the left, and the timeline, we can see that it's steadily increasing. And you can see the personal rating is also increasing. Average damage has gone up, but kind of subsided a little bit. It's probably because I'm playing some more low tier, like I'm grinding. I've been working on grinding up from the Fuso. and some other low tier ships. So that makes sense that that's a little down as of late. We can see our experience continues going up. We can see battles per month. I mean, you can see that up, down, up, down. December makes sense. Have time off work. Battles per week. You can also kind of see that fluctuating around as well. You also have being able to see the nations. So you can see I play a lot of U.S. ships, and then followed by United Kingdom, Japan, and Germany. So I'm trying to branch out into more nations now. Before, this would be much more yellow. Also, warship types. Battleship used to be much larger, and we've been playing a little more destroyer cruiser lately, especially since the 10.0 commander we work. So there's more representation there of those two classes. So again, it gives you little details to see kind of how you've been trending, especially with these charts here. And then you can even look at the warships stats by type, and you can see these different numbers, the different color coding. Like this would be Unicum. This would be, I think this is great. This would be below average, this kind of orange. Or I think this is very good, and I think this is great. Or maybe that's average. I don't remember now. But we can continue seeing here. So we can see with these ship types, what has been our maximum kills, maximum damage we've done ever so far. So the Georgia, that's the most damage I've ever gotten playing in random battles in World of Warships. And then max planes we shot down. So there's just more things for you to look at, and then you can even go into more detail. Weapon statistics. That's a recent one, 5 kills. So on and so forth. So, but I want to come back up here. So this random battles tab, what it shows you is it's basically, in terms of win rates and other statistics, it's combining like solo play, division play with 2 or 3 people. So if we if we want to look at these more specific, like for example, so right now when we're looking at my run rate, I'm a Unicum player in random battles in World Warships. I click on solo. How do I do by myself? I'm actually not a Unicum player. I'm a great player. Which it just feels weird to say that out loud, like just talking, self-reflecting. But just how the charting system works. And then I can see, okay, how have I been doing the last 7 days, the last 21 days? I've been improving. We've been going up. So that in turn is helping increase this number. Because sometimes I've done only probably 3 or 4 videos in the past few months where I've kind of thrown out the word Unicum, presenting myself as a Unicum player, and sharing. And now that I was messing around looking at stats, I'm like, I don't know how honest I can say that I can just call myself a Unicum player, because when I'm standing on my own 2 feet, not in a division, that status lessens. So this is kind of paused. It's challenged me to like, hey, I want to actually get this number up to a Unicum level, and not being in a division to do so. So this, when you're looking at the run rate, even the personal rate, rating, but specifically run rate, it's like, oh, like this player, he's not average. He will do pretty good, make a noticeable impact on the battle. Maybe can carry or won't be able to carry if the battle goes really south for your team, so on and so forth. So you can look at things through different filters, right? We can even see how do I do by myself in the different warships. For example, the personal rating, great, very good, great, great. Run rate, very good. Poor in aircraft carrier. I don't play many aircraft carrier battles. Probably I've only played less than 35 or something on randoms because I don't care to play the class very much. And then Battleship 58, and I was actually surprised that Cruiser is higher than what I would have anticipated. We're quite close to reaching Unicum, but that was just very surprising for me to see. So I've been working a lot on my Destroyer and Cruiser play this year. Since the Commander we work of 10.0, where they kind of butchered battleships, and now battleships are doing better again. It's more the brawling battleships that I really enjoyed playing. So it kind of forced me to play, well, not forced me, but I wanted to play more cruiser destroyer, and we can see that things are looking up well. So again, we're kind of seeing how we're doing, checking, the run rate. We've actually been going down, actually, like a stock market, going down. Personal rating has been going up, average damage, average experience. Okay, so again, we showed you those things. I can look to see how will I perform in a division of 2 people. Super Unicum. Looking at the last 21 days, still a Super Unicum level. Again, you can kind of see how you do in terms of Warship stats by type with the personal rating and the run rating. And you can actually see, I don't think I play cruisers very often in divisions. I'm much more apt to play Battleship or Destroyer in a division. And you can see when I play a cruiser in a division, actually my run rating goes down. But somewhat lately, you've seen it's going up a little bit. So that's good to see at least. And then what about in a division of 3? Is this number even going to be higher? Why, yes, it is. So when we look at a run rate in terms of a division full of 3 people, we're over 71%. That's quite crazy. Even the personal rating is Unicum level. And you come down here, you can see my cruiser play gets even better. In a division of 3, Destroyer is really good. Often when I'm in a div with 2 other people, I like to run Destroyers more often than Battleship or Cruiser. And you can even see that reflected in battles recently played. That holds true, because when you have teammates or div mates or clan mates that you can rely on, like if I light up a Destroyer and I call, Hirugamo lit, let's take him out kind of thing, that they're going to back me up in that. Versus if I'm playing alone as a Destroyer player, I light a Destroyer 6 kilometers away, and my battleships and cruisers behind me, like, no, we want to shoot the big battleships, 15 kilometers in the back. Why would we want to shoot a Destroyer that's only 12 kilometers away from us, So you get to see that is reflected, even in terms of the charts. Personal rating has actually gone down. So it's all these things that you can do, look through these different filters to see how are you as a player performing when you are kind of, oh, that's actually interesting. Lennon has that. That's good. But how are you standing on your own? How are you doing division? Then you can come over to ranked battles. In ranked battles, you can't division with other people. As far as I can remember, at least I know the last several ranked seasons you can't div. But we can see from this, in ranked battles on my own, I am a Unicum level player. We can see how I've been doing recent. Last night, I won 2, lost 2, saved a star in one of the 2 I lost. Last 7 days, great. Last 21 days, I've been playing a lot of more ranked battles than I have random battles. When we were even comparing, 59 to 64. Okay, so slightly more random battles, but we're playing a lot of ranked. I thought that was a little less. So again, we can kind of see, oh yeah, I've been working on trying to advance to the different leagues. Then you go to co-op battles. They're going to have actually my most battle type or battles over 2,800. And I'm like, why do I have more co-op battles than random battles? I can kind of think and reflect. Well, I did spend a lot of time in the beginning of the game trying to get used to things in co-op. And then during the 10.0 commander rework, wargaming was changing so much with the commanders that I got kind of tired of just playing in random battles. So I was playing more co-op. I play more co-op too, sometimes to help with when you're grinding for a dockyard or different combat missions. You're going to find much more people in co-op than randoms. That is definitely true during the dockyards. You're going to see a lot more people in co-op battles. So we can see pretty high rating there because we're only facing bots, and the bots die so quick that really not able to help increase this number more because of just how quickly bots die typically. And we can see the run rating, average damage, average experience, personal rating. So we can go through these different things and kind of explore what's going on. And you might even see that actually I play destroyers more in co-op than I do in randoms. 37%, battleships 29%. I think in randoms it was like 38 and 42%. And that's often because if you're doing different dockyard combat mission grinds, if you're a destroyer, it means you can get to the bots first and kill them before your cruiser or battleship players. So that's one of those reasons why Destroyer for me is going to be inflated. And we get to see some more representation of some other nations, where even France makes the mark, because I like playing Marceau in co-op every now and then. And also that co-op is, when you've had a stressful day, you don't really feel like dealing with people, I'll hop into co-op versus doing random battles. So another thing that I wanted to point out when you're looking at this, again with these different tabs, is just, well, not another thing, but highlighting what does it look like for you as a player in World of Warships. You get to learn more about yourself, your habits, what you tend to do. This is all battles, so it's accumulating everything together. All battles. But in co-op we have 2,800. That's interesting. But I'm not entirely sure how they count all battles. Is that random and ranked together? 559. So do the math on my phone real quick. So just so we can figure out if that is what is indeed happening here. If I can choose the right app on my phone. So 1964 plus was at 559. Yeah, 2,523. Yeah, so all battles incorporates random battles and ranked. It leaves out co-op battles. So then again, when we combine everything, all said and done, we still have that Unicum status. So it's just, when I was reflecting and looking more at this, because of looking at the solo, I was like, you know what, I want to challenge myself. How can I do more when I'm playing solo by myself in random battles? How can I contribute more to the team? What are some things that I can look on improving? And I've identified a few things that I'm going to start working on more. So maybe in 6 months or something, this is even higher. So, and I don't show you this just to, like, I'm flaunting my statistics or something like that. It's just that this is generally, while stats and numbers is really helpful to see how you're doing as a player with personal rating, run rating. It shows you, the nations you're more likely to play, and I'm trying to branch that out more. That's something that I want to start doing. So I've been playing more Japanese lately. I've been playing a little bit of more Germany, which Germany would be the purple. I'm trying to expand myself as a player, where I have a little bit more of a portfolio, especially with different types of nations played, and just being able to see, how I'm doing overall as a player and what are some areas that I can improve on. Because also with that, then that helps me give you guys better content on the channel. So a lot of different things to learn here. But beside this site, I do want to make note that you can, even on World of Warships website, when you log in, you can go also and look at stats. It's nowhere near as in-depth detail as the WoW stats and numbers, but you can learn a little bit more about yourself. One of the things that I was kind of surprised here, I knew Massachusetts would be one of my top ships. Nicholas is just fun when I'm at tier 5 and I'm just relaxing with some of my friends. It's not worth seal clubbing. It just, you get away from more of the gimmicks of high tier 8, 9, 10. When you go to tier 5, you're not going to see any tier 8 ships unless you fail div, or as far as I know, it should be that way, because that would be really rough, tier 5 versus tier 8. But it's more simplistic battle. You don't have even radar at tier 5 unless you get up tier 7 matchmaking as in Atlanta or something of that nature. But what surprised me was the Iowa. She was one of the top 3 ships. I just didn't expect that when I was looking at random battles. So, and I think Iowa is a fantastic ship, really good tier 9 battleship with superb accuracy and handling, so on and so forth. You can see even the number of warships, number of battles played by warship tier. You know how we were getting 7.5. So you can see a lot of tier 8 battles played is the most. Then tier 9, then things kind of trickle out as we get down to tier 1, one battle played at tier 1. And then the tier 10 is rather low. And I've been working on wanting to improve this in randoms battles more. And right now ranked has been in tier 10 battles. So I've been playing a lot of Des Moines, Minotaur, Marceau, a little bit of Wooster. And I'm playing more of the tier 10 ships and ranked, getting a hang of them more, then stepping more confidently into randoms battle. People just say that ranked is like randoms 2.0, which I totally get, kind of understand to a certain extent. And then the other thing real quick I want to point out before we close this and wrap this up, when I go to co-op battles, you go to Warships, you're going to see a change probably in the tiers played. You can see tier 10 is my most played ship in co-op versus where in randoms it was tier 8. And I have been working on getting the hang of more tier 10 battleships or ships in general in the game in co-op before feeling, oh, I'm confident in the ship enough to take it into randoms battle or ranked. And that's probably part of more of my, I'm very reflective and I want to know how ships handle, whether it be propulsion, maneuverability, ship circle turning radius, how fast are the guns traversing, what are really good angles that I know I'm going to be able to pin an enemy ship on, and the bots are kind of like the dummies I get to practice on. And so I practice and I try a lot of different things out at tier 10 in co-op. Also, because of dockyards and mission grinds, you can do more damage, more experience at tier 10, so on and so forth. So another reason why you will see numbers. So it's actually, if I was to define this video, probably what we're doing is reflecting on your statistics. Just to see, you might notice while you're doing this that there's something you can work on and improve on, or what you are really good at. So I think that's enough babbling on, but I don't know if there's a necessary point to this video because I just kind of feel like I was just yammering on a bit, but it's just different ways. I think the main point what I really want to say is it's really good and helpful to understand who you are as a player in World of Warships if you're seeking to improve. If your aircraft carrier win rating is really low, not so hot, then maybe you're not meant to be an aircraft carrier player, or you just need more time. In my case, like I need more time playing with aircraft carriers before I think I can really begin to get this number up. But it's a class I don't really enjoy playing all that much, and I'm more apt to play to shore battleship cruiser. So just being able to see where you can take steps forward and understand, oh, my strengths really is battleship and destroyer. That's really where my strengths begin to step out in random battles. And then you kind of roll with that, or like, hey, you know, I'd like to try to improve my cruiser play or my aircraft carrier play. What am I doing there that could be improved? How can I critique myself? So that's the main point, really. And tying that in with last week's video on the how to get good goes more into detail from this on how to examine how to improve yourself. Like we talked about, how can I improve myself better with the German battleships like the FDG and the Grosse Kurfürst. I talked about how I had a reflection time in destroyer play, whereas tier 8 I was really struggling at tier 8. And then I was like, okay, what's changed? How long am I alive in a battle usually? Where am I dying at typically on a map? And I presented all those things in last week's video. So go check that out if you want to see more on how to get good. So I'm going to stop there for now. So if you liked today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you have subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And I'll have last week's video just on the left of the screen here for you to check out. So until next time, take care.